Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. Thank you so much for tuning in. For return viewers, welcome back. And for new viewers, my name is Dennis Akoya Litsi. And in this specific channel, we handle almost every topic on matters finance, on matters management, everything that on matters working remotely. So if you've just tuned in, welcome back. And I hope this is the beginning of a very good and exciting journey for us. So for today, we are looking at a very important topic, what people usually debate about. You don't know what to choose between the two. So you end up either making the wrong decision or rather not exploring, and you end up missing very, very great opportunities. So today we are going to look at a very exciting topic. Between 9 to 5 job and entrepreneurship, what what is the best thing for you to choose for? Between the two, what is the best option? Because I know there are people who are on the 9 to 5 job and they're really struggling. They're struggling between, okay, should I just go and open a business and quit my job? And there are people who are having their own businesses and they're like, okay, should I look for a more steady for a job, because that will guarantee me a steady income? So you end up being torn between these two decisions to make, and it ends up being a catch-22 situation. So in this specific video, we are going to dissect what is the right way, what is the right option, and what are the things you're supposed to consider before taking either option A or taking option B. Once again, welcome back. I've changed location. I hope with the current view and also the current space that we have, we'll be able to dissect most of these topics in a more reasonable and constructive way. So without further ado, kindly, if you like this content, like and subscribe at the bottom of the screen, and I'll truly greatly appreciate your support. So without further ado, let us jump into the topic. So first of all, we are going to do a comparison between the two. What are the pros and cons of the 9 to 5 job, 9 to 5 p.m. job, and what are the pros and cons of being an entrepreneur? Then we are going to also offer you ways on how you are going to arrive to the better decision. Now, the first thing with the pros, on the pros of a 9 to 5 job, is that you are guaranteed a steady income. Because every day when you're going to work, you're guaranteed a stable income at the end of the month. So you're sure that whatever come what may, I will be paid either on the 25th or on the 5th of next month. So you are guaranteed. You can plan yourself well because you know that your income is constant. You'll be earning this specific money every month, and that will be constant. So that is one of the main pros and cons, one of the main pros when it comes to the 9 to 5 job. And here is where people are usually very reluctant. You have a very brilliant idea, something which you can go out there and start your business, but you're limited with this thing of, I'm at my comfort zone. I really don't want to miss this opportunity, because that is what 9 to 5 p.m. job guarantees. Now, another thing is the work-life balance. Mostly nowadays after Corona, most companies shifted to from office or from site working to remote working, or even hybrid roles, where you go to the office maybe twice a week or thrice a week, and the rest of the days you're working from home. So a 9 to 5 p.m. job encourages or brings about the work-life balance that most of us are looking for. So probably you have your family, you wake up in the morning, you set up your machine and you start working. So somebody thinks, I'm comfortable. I have a steady income. I have a job that guarantees me a work-life balance. I don't want to think about entrepreneurial opportunities. Then another thing is the benefits and perks. And on the benefits and perks, you'll find out that you have medical insurance cover. At other companies, you have retirement plans, you are paid on leave, you are paid, or you have these paid maternity or paternity leaves. And you see all these benefits are attached to the are attached to the 9 to 5 p.m. job. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, unfortunately, You will have to pay your own medical insurance cover. You'll have to do your plan on, you'll have to do a retirement plan for yourself. That means you're the one who is incurring this cost directly. So when you find that you are a 9 to 5 p.m. person, you are employed, it is easier for you because all these benefits are guaranteed in your contractual agreement. You're sure that you have a medical cover. That is one. You're sure that your retirement benefit is secured. You're sure that other, like, you have paid leaves. You can take your 21 leaves at once or twice in a year and you'll be paid for that. If you are on maternity leave, you can take your 3 months maternity and it will be paid. So these benefits limit your thought or limit your effort. In case you want to maybe explore more and open your business, you're limited because whatever you're receiving in the 9 to 5 p.m. job is awesome. So why do you want to come out of that comfort zone? Then you tend to be too comfortable. Then we have this issue of professional growth. Nowadays, when you're employed, you're passed through several series of trainings. You find that you have, let's say, the learning development in every work. So maybe, let's say, you're working at a call center, you're working in the operations department, you're working, let's say, as a project manager somewhere, and in this specific company, they have their own internal learning management system, an LMS, where you go there, you get certified for every course that you do, and in that there is a surety when it comes to your professional growth, your career growth. And most of the people alike, with all these advantages, I'm guaranteed a certification. Once I'm done with, let's say, going through these professional courses, I'm guaranteed career growth. Once I'm done going through all these professional courses provided under our LMS platform. So you find out that this is a very key benefit when it comes to you being employed by such companies. You are guaranteed you have networking opportunities because you are taken through seminars, you're taken through benchmarking sessions in other companies. Then you get all these experiences from all these places that you go, from all these materials that you're provided with. And with that, most people tend to think that I have everything because I'm working and at the same time what is it called? My professional career, my professional growth is being guaranteed through the learning materials and the experiences I'm receiving. So that is also one key benefit you receive. Now, there are also some cons when it comes to the 9 to 5 p.m. job. In short, when you are employed. So the first thing is limited flexibility. And here you'll find out that the 9 to 5 p.m. job is very restrictive. There are protocols you have to follow. There are frameworks which you have to work within. You cannot come up with your own decision and it is implemented like that, however awesome it may seem. So these restrictions tend to guide you through specific frameworks that you're supposed to follow. You cannot just implement anything, whether it will work or not. You're confined within this these frameworks that have been created with that specific company. So you don't have that flexibility. Now, another thing is the income ceilings. There are people, surprisingly, they have worked in a company for 10 years and their salary is still constant. You find out that somebody has just been, let's say, the salary has just been increased by a little percentage. So they're still not in a position to actually say that the ceiling of my income has increased. And this is unlike when you're an entrepreneur, because when you're an entrepreneur, you can increase your earnings based on the business that you do. You have the flexibility based on the decisions and the structures that you can set in your business. And these are some of the limitations that a 9 to 5 p.m. job has. Because for you to come up with an idea, you first have to inform your supervisor. Your supervisor has to ask you, okay, now create a proposal. When that proposal is done, now create a cost analysis of how much you need. Now create a budget. Now we need the final approvals. When the final approvals are done, now we need maybe the CEO to put a pen to your idea so that it is implemented. By the time all these processes are done, it is 2 years or even 3. So that is one of the main cons that the 9 to 5 p.m. job has. Now, let us come to entrepreneurship. The first thing that entrepreneurship offers as a pro is you have flexibility and autonomy. Now, when it comes to flexibility, you have control over your schedule. You decide when you are going to report to work, you decide at what time you're supposed to be doing what. So you have the power to control or to plan yourself within the time that you have on what you are going to do. Then, being an entrepreneur, you also have independence. And independence comes about when you are going to decide, okay, what am I supposed to do in my business so that I increase the revenues that are being generated? How many employees do I need? How much do I need to expand my business? Okay, I'm successful in Nairobi. Should I expand in other countries, in other counties? Let's say in Kisumu. Should I expand in Mombasa? And these are decisions that you can make and decide for yourself based on the research that you have done, based on the business, the way it is growing, based on the revenue that you're generating. You have the power to decide or to make the decision process be as short as possible. Now, another thing, unlimited earning potential. As I said, as an entrepreneur, you have the power to decide how much you need to earn. Mostly for those businesses that are already stable. If your business is stable, you can sit down and say, okay, I have, let's say, 10 M-Pesa shops. And these 10 M-Pesa shops are giving me this amount of money. Now, why don't I expand? Now, I have 10 M-Pesa shops in Meru. Why don't I open 20 M-Pesa shops in Ruiru? Then I go and open 30 M-Pesa shops in Rongai. These are the decisions you can make based on the income that has been generated in the same business. And the decision process will be very short. And it guarantees you the more you open, because you have an idea of how to run that business, the more you earn. So there is a high potential when it comes to you deciding how much you want to earn from your business. Then there is that personal satisfaction. The personal satisfaction is that I built this business. I've been seeing several businessmen saying that when they've already made it and they're like, I'm proud of myself because I took a step, I took a risk, and I made it work. So you have that self satisfaction that this is my business and I've created maybe a generational wealth for my family. Whether you are old, there is still somebody who will come there and run that business. But for you as an employee, I'm assuming maybe I'm employed as a doctor. If I retire right now, my son cannot automatically come and run the hospital the way I was doing, or rather, my son cannot just come and be employed to fill that space. But as a businessman, you have this business. You can simply, when you are on your sunset days, you can simply bring your family and say, you as my elder son, this is what you'll be managing. You'll be doing this and this. You have that personal satisfaction that indeed you have created something that will be of benefit to your family. Now, the potential downsides of this is financial risks. And let me tell you, I have seen very many people making this risk. And I was reading some article somewhere. And in this specific article, the writer was saying that the risk I did was to resign from my work after opening my business for only 6 months. So you can see that he's coming out and saying that if you are employed and you open a business, kindly give it time. Even if you attain the break-even point, give yourself even 1 or 2 years before you now make that decision of my business has been stable for 2 years. Now I am able to resign. So for this gentleman, in fact, he wasn't a gentleman, he was a very senior person. So for this senior person, he was trying to tell us we need to be patient. Okay? So the financial risk is there. You take your money, you put it in one business, you have done your research, but the reality on the ground is very different. You try and do that business and you incur losses. What else do you do? You lose all your finances. Then you have to begin from scratch. Now, another thing is high time commitment. By the way, let me tell you one thing. 9 to 5 p.m. job, it is structured, it is set. You are only supposed to report to your work between 9 to 5 p.m. Now, for entrepreneurs, and even when you go there to the sokos and see those mama mbogas, you'll find them at that soko as early as 3 p.m. And when you go to the same soko at 8 p.m., you'll still, no, not at 3 p.m., sorry, you'll find them as early as 3 a.m. in the morning. That is when they are collecting their produce to prepare to sell it to the people. Now go to that market at 8 p.m. in the evening, you'll still find them there. They will still sell you the vegetables that you need. The mama mbogas have reported to work at 3 a.m. in the morning to collect the produce. At 8 p.m., they're still there serving you your vegetables. That is way beyond the 9 to 5 p.m. schedule. So, as an entrepreneur, you must have high time commitment because you will work extra more than that person who is only working the 9 to 5 p.m. job. So you need to understand that this is something which you need to commit fully. You might end up spending more of your time in your business other than your home. Now, another thing you're supposed to realize, and this is something which I touched at the beginning somewhere, for business people, there is no employment benefits. So those medical insurance that you're supposed to be given, there is nothing like that. The leave allowance that is supposed to be given, the leave payment that is supposed to be given, there is nothing like that. Retirement pension, if you need a retirement plan as an entrepreneur, you have to create your own plan. You have to be paying it from your own pocket. So that is also some three downsides when it comes to being an entrepreneur. Now, what are the factors you're supposed to consider when you have these two options at the table? Either maintain your employment status, that is the 9 to 5 p.m. job, or come and be an entrepreneur. The first thing is your risk factor. Are you able to risk it all? If so, then proceed. The second thing, are you self-motivated? Are you only going to your work because it is a set structure, or are you self-motivated to wake up as early as 2 a.m. and report to your work? If so, then consider. What are your financial goals? That is also something you're supposed to consider. Is my financial goal, am I comfortable with being paid that month on month basis, or can I consider doing another thing? The other thing is, what is your work-life preference? Remember, as an entrepreneur, you might end up spending much time in your business other than home, and likely this structured time for businesses. Then you're supposed also to do some consideration. Then, do you have a strong passion for being a business person? Remember, not everyone was born to be a businessman. Some people, some people, when they do that, they don't even have passion or the motivation to do their own businesses. So also put that passion into consideration. Do I have passion to do this? Or do I just stick to my job? So with that said and done, I think you can balance and decide what best works for you. Do I need to do the 9 to 5 p.m. job, or rather do I need to venture into business? But even consider the hybrid option, whereby you can still be employed and have your side hustle as a business. It doesn't hurt. You can look at how best you can do both, then transition as a business person with time after you are guaranteed that my business is now stable to give me something at the end of each period of time, whether it is monthly or even weekly. I'll suggest doing both as you transition in doing one. So with that said and done, I want to give you all the thanks to sticking towards the end. I want to thank you for your support, and I want to encourage you, kindly like and subscribe if you relate to this content, because I'll be trying as much as I can to post a video on a day-to-day basis. With that said and done, have a good day. Thank you so much.